Hi! So today we're gonna make a Thanksgiving appetizer. A keto appetizer that everyone really loves. It is pickled eggs. And this is a really fun recipe, but first I wanna tell you about hard-boiled eggs. So I have tried everything under the sun to hard boil eggs and have them all turn out perfect. And you know how hard that is, right? I have bought every gadget. I have tried everything. The glass jar where you shake and the shell comes off all by itself. Everything. So finally, I developed a little bit of patience because I hated filling the pot with cold water. I always loved to fill the pot with hot water because then it's faster, right? I don't have to wait as long. So I finally got patient and I load my eggs up. I cover them completely in cold water, you know, just tap cold water. And then I dump in about 3 tablespoons of baking soda. And I bring it to a boil, put the lid on and turn the stove off and just leave it. You need to leave it for at least 20 to 30 minutes. But I just boil it, turn it off, leave it on the stove for a couple hours. Then I'm not timing it. I'm not in a big hurry. And that helps me with my patience issue, but that's another video. Anyway, so if you want really easy, so then I tap the shell against the sink and I tap the other side of the egg on the sink and then I roll it, and that loosens that film that is connected to the shell and connected to the egg, and it just comes under. I take the shells off under running water and it comes off super easy. And every egg today, all 13 of them, it was a lucky day, came out perfect. Okay, also cold water, apparently heating up the water slowly on the stove helps center the yolk inside the egg white. That's a myth that I have not proven to be true, because all the times I've used cold water now, the yolk is wherever it wants to be. I think it's the age of the egg, to be honest, but I haven't tested that. So that's just my new hypothesis that I've got to try. Okay, so now you've got your eggs. Let me take you down here real quick. You've got your eggs separated. You see that? I'm kind of at a crooked today. I don't know how to fix that. But I've got them all halved. They all came out beautiful, and we have our yolks. Okay, so we're gonna I'm not gonna make you sit through this video while I fill all these halves, okay? But we're going to put some on a plate, okay? So, boy, I wish, there we go. That's a little straighter, right? Okay, so in our bowl, and this is a funny story. This is the bowl that Stephen and I have had since we got married. It is the one thing that we still have since we got married, besides our passion and our love for each other. But material-wise in the kitchen, this is the only thing that has survived and moved with us every move. I kind of make sure that there's always one thing that is a constant in our marriage: food, right? So we've got all our little egg yolks in there. I am going to be using some bacon fat, mayo, yellow mustard, and a really cool little thing we just found that is 1 carb, okay, no added sugar, is Wickles Spicy Red Sandwich Spread, okay? Found it at Walmart with the pickles, okay? I don't know if they'll have it in your area. I've got about a tablespoon left in this jar, so I'm just gonna tap it all out, okay? Normally I would use about 3 tablespoons, but that's all I got, okay? We're gonna use a tablespoon of bacon fat. Why? Because I like the creaminess in the fat and I like the flavor in the fat, and it's good for me fat, okay? Wipe my finger. And then we're gonna use probably 2 tablespoons of yellow mustard. It's kind of a, okay, that's 1. maybe 1.5, okay? Or a generous tablespoon. And then our mayo. And that is about 2 tablespoons. Now you have to really eyeball this because, and start off with smaller amounts, because if it's runny, you can't, you know, I guess you could boil some more eggs, some salt, some pepper, and I know you dust the top with paprika, but I'm gonna put some paprika in the mix too, okay? I really like the smoky flavor, and if you really like the smoky flavor, you can always use a little bit of liquid smoke as well, okay? And then we're just gonna stir it. Until it's as smooth as we can get it. And then this is where it's a texture thing of how, not a texture thing, but a consistency thing. I want it to hold together. I don't want it to be poured into the eggs. So I think I've got my amounts pretty good. And I use those amounts for a dozen jumbo eggs. We really like deviled eggs. And so I will do medium eggs that I pickle, you know, make pickled eggs. They're perfect. You know, I can eat 3 or 4 of those medium eggs and be good. But if I'm eating deviled eggs, and it is amazing how fast you can scarf these suckers down. So make sure you're making them in the nice size egg. Okay, so that looks about right. I'm gonna mix in that mayo. Clean off my fork. There we go. Wipe my finger. Now we're ready to fill. Okay, you want to adjust your salt and pepper before you put it in. Mine just needs just a little bit more salt. Okay, so now that's that easy, right? Now, deviled eggs, super easy, super to put in whatever you want for your eggs. Now, some of you can put this in a baggie, snip off the corner and pipe it in. But I want to show you how simple it is just to fill them with a spoon. Now, if you're doing a lot like I have in front of me, baggie and time, you know, you don't have a lot of time, baggie's your best friend, okay? And then for the lopsided ones, you can always put it over to both sides so it looks like there's more, because it's a little lopsided shell, okay? They're not pretty because I'm not really taking the time to make them pretty, should I? Here, let's do some pretty ones so you can see. I will get a baggie out and I will get my scraper out. Let's put it in a baggie so you can see. Okay. Then you got the difference of what will work better for you. I'm gonna put it in a bag, just a Ziploc. I only buy freezer bags, the heavier duty plastic. If you have baggies for sandwiches and stuff like that, use whatever you got. It really isn't that big of a deal. But I do fold the edge over so that I don't get food in the Ziploc part, okay? I'm gonna get all of that goodness in there. Okay, so here's the difference. Okay, we get it all down to the edge. Get as much air out, so, and then snip it. And if you're putting pickles in there, pickle relish, whatever you're putting in there, you need to think about that when you're cutting the corner so that you cut it big enough that everything can get out, okay? So that is that plate. Let's Get a new plate out so you can see the difference. Now, if you have a piping bag with different tips, use the different tips. Okay? So, yeah, much nicer, huh? And more efficient and better control of how much is getting in there versus on your fingers. Okay? Now, so that's it, folks. Okay, so then when you're done, right before you serve or put it in the container, the deviled egg container, you know, that from a Tupperware type container. Pampered Chef has them. Costco sells them occasionally. I think they have them right now because it's Thanksgiving. But there you go. How pretty is that? And let me flip you back up. With a little bit of planning and a little bit of imagination, you can have the best keto Thanksgiving, and you can eat without guilt. And that's the big thing, is taking the guilt and shame out of your diet completely. So no matter what you choose to eat this Thanksgiving and this Christmas, just eat and enjoy. You don't always have to worry about keto, especially 2 days a year and maybe 3, your birthday. Use those as feast days, not cheat days. And just go enjoy yourself, guilt-free, shame-free. But if you choose to make a keto holiday or a keto birthday, still just enjoy yourself. And it's about enjoying your family and the day and not worrying about everything you put in your mouth, right? Those 3 days a year, your birthday, Christmas, and Thanksgiving, it really is about the day and the company that you're keeping. So make sure you're eating for you and enjoy the day, guilt-free. I hope you liked this recipe. If you did, please like it and share it with your friends. Not everybody knows how to make deviled eggs, and not everybody knows how to do it with ease. And it's a super simple recipe, but I hope you all enjoy it. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.